Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our mathematics lesson today. Remember, we have been dealing with time, speed, and distance. Today, we are starting or what's called temperature, degrees Celsius. Temperature, I hope you know, you learned it in science. We say temperature is the hotness and coldness of a place. It's what's called temperature, is the hotness or coldness of a place. And it's always measured in degrees Celsius. So let us go quickly to the question. You are told the temperature of a mass of ice was 10 degrees below. Was 10 degrees Celsius below 0 degrees. Below 0 degrees. The ice was warmed. The ice was warmed. The ice was warmed until there was a rise. Until there was a rise. Until there was a rise of 41 degrees Celsius. The question is asking what was the reading on the scale of the thermometer. What was the reading on the scale of the thermometer? Scale of the thermometer. Remember, the thermometer is an instrument that is used to measure temperature. An instrument that we use to measure for temperature. So this is called the thermometer. And remember, we say the temperature of a normal body, human being, one thing you know is always 37 degrees Celsius. And the boiling points of water is also always 100 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of a liquid is 100 degrees Celsius. Here, let us see now. You are told the temperature of mass of ice was 10 degrees below 0 degrees. Below 0 degrees. 10 degrees Celsius. Below 0. So if you hear now below 0 mark, the thermometer does 0 mark. So anything that comes below the 0 mark, that is negative now. So they said 10 degrees Celsius below the 0 mark, the 0 degrees. So that is now negative 10 degrees Celsius. Why? Because they said below the 0 degrees. The ice was warmed, it was heated until there was a rise. So this one was in a refrigerator. So it was heated now. You put it on fire, then the temperature will increase now. So it was warmed until there was a rise. There was a rise means now the temperature has gone up. So until there was a rise, if you hear, until there was a rise, that is plus. If you hear until there was a drop, that is minus, it has a drop. Until there was a rise, now rise is plus 41 degrees Celsius. Then the question is asking now, what is the reading now? So what is the reading of the thermometer now? It was negative 10 degrees Celsius. Someone warmed until there was a rise of 41 degrees. Now, what is the reading of the thermometer now? The thermometer itasoma nini? That's what they are asking. So what we do now, this is minus 10. And this is plus 41. This is minus 10 and this is plus 41. What do we do now? I said when you see minus and plus, you check the sign of the bigger number. Between 10 and 41, 41 is greater than 10. So the bigger number sign now is plus. So once it is plus now, the answer will be positive now. Then we subtract now because signs are different. Minus, positive, and negative. The answer is always you subtract the numbers. So you say 41 minus 10 now, because plus comes first also. In short form, the plus comes first now. When you use body mass, plus comes first now. Plus, this one is plus, now it is 41 now, degrees Celsius. Minus now 10 degrees Celsius. When we use body mass, plus comes first before negative. So you say now 41 minus 10, which is equal to 31 degrees Celsius. This now will be the reading of the thermometer. So that is very simple. I'm repeating, you are told the temperature of the ice was 10 degrees below. If you hear 10 degrees below, 10 degrees Celsius below the 0 mark, below the 0 degrees Celsius, that is negative now. So it is negative 10. So now the ice was warmed until there was a rise. So since there was a rise now, it means now it's plus. We don't subtract. Rise we add. So until there was a rise, that is plus 41 degrees Celsius. It has risen now by 41 degrees Celsius. So what will be the reading of the thermometer? So when you use this way now, I must tell you what you do in this way. You use body mass now. Plus comes first. That is 41 minus 10 degrees Celsius. You will get 31 degrees Celsius. So that is that. Let us go to another question. You are told if a thermometer reading of a frozen ice. Number 2, if a thermometer of a frozen ice, if the thermometer reading of a frozen ice, thermometer reading of a frozen ice is 9 degrees Celsius below 9 degrees Celsius below freezing point, below freezing point, and is warmed to 19 degrees Celsius, and is warmed to 19 degrees Celsius. Then the question is asking, calculate the rise in temperature. Calculate the rise in temperature. Calculate the rise. Calculate the rise in temperature. 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 Now, you are told the thermometer reading of a frozen ice is 9 degrees below the freezing point. Below the freezing point, and it was warmed to 19 degrees. Calculate the rise They said if a thermometer of a reading frozen ice is 9 degrees Celsius below the freezing point and is warmed to 19 degrees Celsius, then they said calculate the rise of the temperature. So it was reading 9 degrees Celsius below the 0 mark. It was warmed now. It was this one now. It was warmed now. It was warmed now to 19 degrees Celsius. It was warmed to 19 degrees Celsius. It was warmed to 19 degrees Celsius. Then they said now calculate the rise in temperature. Calculate the rise in temperature now. So the rise in temperature now, what we say 19 degrees Celsius plus 9 degrees Celsius. So here when you add the rise, together rise, you say 19 plus this, you will get 28 degrees Celsius. So the rise will be 28 degrees Celsius. It's very simple. Let us see another one. You are told the temperature of an ice cube. Another one. The temperature of an ice cube. The temperature, question 3. The temperature of an ice cube. The temperature of an ice cube in a container. In a container was 26 degrees below. Was 26 degrees Celsius below the 0 below 0 degrees below 0 degrees Celsius. Then now they said by the noon the temperature had risen by 8 degrees Celsius. By the noon the temperature had risen. The temperature had risen to 8 degrees Celsius. Temperature had risen to 80 degrees Celsius. What was the new reading on the thermometer? What was the new reading? What was the new reading? What was the new reading on? What was the new reading on the thermometer? What was the real reading on the thermometer? Let us say now, the temperature of an ice cube in a container was 26 degrees below 0 degrees, 26 degrees Celsius below 0 degrees. By noon, 12 noon, the temperature had risen to 18. So this one was below, so it is minus now. Now the temperature now has risen. It has risen. Now it has risen. Rise, we add 8 degrees Celsius. It was negative 26 below 0 degrees. Now due to the heat now, it has risen now to 8 degrees. Then what they are asking now, the reading of the thermometer now. What will the thermometer read now? That's what they are saying. It was negative 23 degrees Celsius, below 0, more negative 26 degrees Celsius. It has risen now due to the heat now by 8. It has gone up by 8. So what will it read now? So now what we say, this one is negative 26 degrees Celsius. And this one is 8 degrees Celsius. So what we do now, we say body mass. I said earlier, you can say body mass. You say plus comes first, 8 degrees Celsius minus 26 degrees Celsius. That's how we subtract it now to get the reading now. Now 8 minus 26, we said it is impossible. But we said things are possible sometimes. So I said we use integers. What you do now, by getting this one now, this one minus this one is impossible, but I said sometimes it's possible when you go to integers. Now what you do, 26 and 8, which one is greater? 26 is greater. So if 26 is greater, first thing you check which number is bigger. 26 and 8, 26 is bigger. Once 26 is bigger now, the sign of 26 is minus now. So you first write the sign of the bigger number. The first thing we do, 8 and 26, 26 is greater. 8 is plus. When a number is alone, is plus. This negative belongs to this 26 now. So immediately now you check on that. You first write the sign of the bigger number is minus. This minus belongs to the bigger number is minus. After doing that now, plus and minus, the numbers, the signs are different. When the signs are different now, difference means mathematical is minus. So sum, when they are same, the sum ni plus. When they are different, it's difference in minus now. So they are different. This one is plus, this one is minus. Signs are not the same, they are different. When they are different, difference means minus. If they are minus, minus, so or plus, plus, the signs are same. Same means sum is the same as sum. So you add. So now the bigger number sign is negative. Subtract now, they are different. 26 minus 8 now. 26 minus 8, you will get 18 degrees Celsius. You will get a negative 18 degrees Celsius. So the answer is negative 18 degrees Celsius. Or you can say 18 degrees Celsius below. Sometimes they will not write for you the negative. You say below 0 degrees Celsius. Below 0 degrees Celsius. Both answers are correct now. So the answer can either be negative degrees Celsius or 18 degrees Celsius below 0 degrees. That's how we do. I'm repeating. You are told the temperature of an ice cube in a container was negative 26 degrees Celsius. Was 26 degrees Celsius below the zero. Below the zero means it was negative. During the noon now, remember the heat will increase. So it has risen. Rise means plus by 8 degrees. When you hear rise, it may banda. So 8 degrees Celsius plus 8. So they're saying what will be the reading of the thermometer. So I said now body mass. As I said earlier, plus comes first is plus. Minus now negative 26 degrees. I said 8 minus 6, 26 is impossible. They cannot subtract. But I said always when you see such a number, you check the bigger number. 26 and 8, 26 is greater. So what is the sign of the greater number? Is this minus. So it is minus. Now they are different. This one is plus and this one is minus. So they are the signs are different. Now you get the difference. Now 26 minus 8, you get 18 degrees Celsius. So the answer is negative 18 degrees Celsius or 18 degrees Celsius below 0 degrees Celsius. That's how we find. We go to now another question. You are told boiling water was allowed to cool. Boiling water was allowed. Boiling water was allowed to cool. Boiling water was allowed to cool if the new temperature reads, if the new temperature read 10 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius. They said find the drop in temperature. 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 Boiling water was allowed to cool. If the new temperature reads this, 10 degrees Celsius, find the drop in temperature. Find the drop in temperature. So they're asking the drop now. So boiling water, I said when I was introducing, I said boiling water, you must know the temperature of a any boiling liquid. The temperature of a boiling water, you have learned that one in science, is always 100 degrees Celsius. If you put the water on fire, then you heat that water, they will reach a certain level. So the boiling point of liquid, any liquid or water, is always 100 degrees Celsius. That one you must know. If the new temperature reads 10 degrees Celsius, they said if the new temperature read 10 degrees Celsius, find the drop in temperature. So we want to get the drop now. The drop now is, now when it's a drop now, we subtract that what I said. To get the drop, what you do now, you say, to get the drop, you say drop is equals to get the drop, you can say is equals to initial temperature minus final temperature. Initial temperature minus final temperature. Initial temperature, the boiling point was 100 degrees Celsius. They want now the drop now, minus final, it's reading now this one, minus 10 degrees Celsius. So now the drop is 90 degrees Celsius. That is now the drop. That is now at the drop. So the boiling point, what they are testing is whether you know the boiling point is always 100 degrees Celsius. So now to get now the drop is a minus now. So you say 10 degrees Celsius minus the 100 degrees Celsius boiling point minus the 10 degrees Celsius. You will get now initial minus final. You will get 90 degrees Celsius. You will get 90 degrees Celsius. Another one, they say the temperature of milk, the temperature of milk the temperature of milk was recorded the temperature of a milk was recorded as 27 degrees Celsius. 27 degrees Celsius. Then they said now it was then heated until boiling point. It was then heated until boiling point. Until boiling point. Then they said what was the rise in temperature? 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 If the liquid boiled, if the liquid boiled at 100 degrees Celsius. If the liquid boiled at 100 degrees Celsius. Now this one you are given the boiling point. As I said, also the boiling point of any liquid is 100 degrees Celsius. They say the temperature of milk was recorded as 27 degrees Celsius. Then it was heated until to the boiling point. It was 27 degrees Celsius. It was heated. It has read this. What was the rice now? To get the rice, so we say to get the rice, how do you get the rice? So ilikuwa 27 ikabanda ikawa paka 100 degrees Celsius. Ikabanda ngapi kutoka 27, from 27 to 100 degrees. It went up for how many degrees? So what you say now, what you do, so we say 100 degrees Celsius minus 27 degrees Celsius. You subtract it now. So you say 100 minus 27, you get 3. Here is 973. So 73 degrees Celsius. That was a rice. So if you add now 27 plus the rice, which is 73, you will get 100 degrees Celsius. They are saying it was 27. After heating, it has read this. So what was the increase now? From 27, it was 73 now. So what you do, you say to 70, rice is equals to now, you say final minus initial. So we say rice is equals to final temperature minus initial. Final minus initial. Final minus initial. Final is this. Initial it was this. Before it was heated, 27. That is now initial. Reading is the final. So final is 100 minus the initial degrees, minus the initial degrees. So it is very simple, and we are through with temperature. We don't have so many questions, so we shall stop it there for today. I wish you all the best.